Have you ever had in your day that moment whenever you go to the bathroom and you are just having that moment with yourself, looking at your eyes in the mirror and ask, what am I doing at this relationship, or what am I doing at this work? The person that I see inside of my head doesn't match with the person that is here and doing those things. As if you live your life blindly and you not even know how did you arrive to that point. I've been in this situation so many times, and that happens because the main trauma as a human being that you're gonna live, and there's no one that is not gonna live through that trauma, is just coming to Earth and having at least the first 7-10 years of your life being guided by somebody else right when you are just blind. Whenever you come as a child, you don't know anything. You don't know how to live your own life and be your own expression. So you are basically a blind being that is being walked through with the help of someone that can be your mom and dad or whoever was the caretaker. And it's painful because everyone has their own abstract way of live life. And I'm really sure that after you've grown, the way that you drive your life is not the way that your parents drive theirs. There's probably a little one or two things that you looked back and you're like, oh, if I could, if I would, if I should, I would have come back at the moment and change here and there, because that thing, it wasn't something that I really want to do. It was something that someone told me that I should. So coming to Earth with that baggage, it's complex. It's the same idea as if you are in a car where there's somebody else driving, you are in a passenger seat, you're being driven to a place that you don't know where you're gonna be taken to. You were just there looking at the window, trying to understand how the car works, and then cut to a moment where you are driving your own car, you are in a driver's seat, and now is your time. What are you gonna do? Where are you gonna go towards? Where are you driving to? That's why you come into a work-life relationship situation that you feel like that doesn't match with the person that you see inside of your head. And every time that I came towards those situations, I just learned those things that really helped me out. First of all, you are living this life as a creator. You are able to create any life you wish in your heart. Whatever job and work that you wish you could do, you are able to do, or any little life situation that you wish to change is possible to be changed. And we are just attached to reality in a way that we think that whatever cards is being given to us, this is exactly the path we should go towards, and there is no other option. We are trapped, there is no other way. We gotta live towards that. When I first woke up to all my life and all my decisions and I decided to do something different, at first, it was weird. It felt like too good to be true, being honest. It didn't feel like a bad news. It just felt like, okay, am I capable to actually choose differently? Am I capable to actually create a different life from everyone that I see around me? Am I capable of doing different than them? And one example that I still remember was one of my first jobs. I was working in a telemarketing company where I would just answer the phone, repeat the same tasks, and for me that was such a boring work because it was repetitive, it wasn't challenging me anymore. And at that moment, I was going to university and I was studying filmmaking. This is my career and my background. And I remember that I just wanted my life to be 100% around filmmaking. I want to have a job in the filmmaking industry. And I hated being in the telemarketing industry. I would go to the washroom and I would just think with myself like, am I actually capable to do something different? And the way that I created my reality was the weirdest way possible. I wasn't able to basically not show all my work and go do any interviews, because if I didn't show in my work at least 3 days, they could just fire me. So what did I do? Whenever I had an interview scheduled, I would go to the interview, and right after I would go to a hospital and I would say I'm having a headache, and I would bring a paper saying like, oh, I was out by a medical reason, and they would just excuse me to miss that work day. I know it feels horrible because I wasn't following the rules of the company. I just look at those rules and I just believe that those rules, they didn't fit my life. Since I was a kid, I was always like a rule breaker. Every time somebody came and bring me a rule, if it didn't make true sense, and if I wouldn't be bothering others or just making somebody else's life miserable by not respecting the rule, I would just find a way to do opposite. So that was one of those rules, and I just kept doing interviews and until I finally got the job that I wanted, and that made me so happy. But my point is, whatever it can be your struggle, whatever is the corner that you feel trapped around, those traps, they can be made and imposed by societal norms, by whatever your parents believe that is good to you, or it can be just you replicating something that you've learned whenever you were blind in the first years of your life experience. So to create the life that you wish to yourself and to break through and get closer to the little image that you have, you first need to start manifesting the life that you actually want. Just removing those blinds that kind of cover your eyes with just any rules or things that were imposed to you, and start taking action. Doesn't matter how the action is. Maybe the action is just writing in the paper however you see your life, or however you want the next job and the next relationship to be. I'm here to tell you it's definitely possible to manifest the life that you wish to have. And one of the main important things to do is just remove those blinds. Those blinds that you've been driving your life towards, where you're just doing decision after decision and thinking that is nothing your fault, is those are just the cards that life draw to you. I'm gonna tell you something, it's all your choice. You chose to be in the life situation that brought you into this point. And you chose to click on this video, so that means that probably there's a voice inside of you that also tells that it's now time to do something different. I'm not telling you to quit your job or just end a relationship that you feel like that doesn't serve you anymore, but I'm telling you to first be honest to yourself. When you remove those blinds, when you are just real and you have true conversations with yourself, or when you accept that you are actually living the worst and this is not exactly where you want it to be, this is the first moment where you're just warming up that internal conversation with you, when you're just hearing the internal voice and you're gonna give the first steps into turning somebody different. I hope I was able to help you with one thing or two into becoming the best version of yourself. This channel is supposed to be really chill, just a conversational tone about things that help me awaken and manifest the life I wanted. I wish exactly the same to you, and I hope I can see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe because this is a new channel, but I want to grow a community where we can help each other to just be better versions of ourselves.